Today's March 1st. Sure, that won't have any plot relevance. Hello, everybody. Before we get into the Minecraft talk, I would just like to reference the elephant in the room, this hat. So basically, today, more of my hair decided to swoop to this side than this side, revealing a huge chunk of my giant forehead right here. And it's awful to look at, so we're gonna wear a hat. Yeah. We're just hiding some forehead under here. Minecraft is one of the most popular games of all time. Possibly the best game of all time? We're not gonna get into that debate today, because if we were, Fortnite would win. All jokes aside, today I want to talk about beating the game. Something apparently a very small majority of the people who play Minecraft actually have done, which makes sense. It's a sandbox game. I'm not going to tell you that beating the game is the right way to play Minecraft. I've never beat the game. I prefer Redstone. Because Redstone can't hurt me. But what I do want to talk about is the concept of whether or not you could beat the game without prior knowledge. Because anytime I bring this up, it's always split. Half the people are like, oh, of course you could. It's a video game. That's what they're supposed to do. And the other half's like, obviously not. There's just not enough clues. And I tend towards that opinion. But today I wanted to just go over like the steps of beating the game and just, if we think someone could do it without prior knowledge. First, I just want to go over like basic rules of this video. Okay, so our hypothetical person in this case, we'll call him Steve. We're gonna assume that they have basic understanding of what Minecraft is. I know it's technically prior knowledge, but we're not gonna get anywhere without the baseline understanding. So they know it's a sandbox game, and they know it has an ending. Steve is also an avid gamer, which just basically means we don't have to account for like not being able to do something. Steve is an able gamer. Good hand-eye coordination. Steve is not allowed to look up the wiki or any walkthroughs. Steve is going in blind. And lastly, Steve has full intent to beat this game. He has no idea what that's going to entail, but by golly, Steve's gonna do it. Now that we've established like the basic rules for this like thought experiment, I want to go over like the steps to beating Minecraft, and I think there are 8. The first one is gathering basic supplies. Punching trees, mining, getting iron, basic tools, a bucket, fighting golems, stuff like that to just get the basic necessities. Step 2 is figure out how to go to the Nether. Whether it's finding a completable ruined portal or just finding a lava pool, you have to be able to get to the Nether. Number 3 is once we're in the Nether, we need to find a fortress, find a blaze spawner within that fortress, and kill the blazes to get rods. Step 4 is we need to retrieve ender pearls. Now, here's the thing. There are 3 ways to do this according to the Minecraft wiki, which I pulled up just to make sure I wouldn't be missing any ways. Bartering, trading, and killing endermen, which we'll get to those and how they would be used in a blind experience, I guess. Step 5, combine the eyes and rods. I know this doesn't seem like that big of a step, but it has some like implications, so we'll go over those when we get there. Step 6 is finding the stronghold, which, you have to find the stronghold to get to the end. These are really self-explanatory. Anyone who's ever played Minecraft knows these steps. And step 8 is fight and kill the Ender Dragon. I'm not really going to go into any specifics as we're going over whether or not I think someone with no prior knowledge could do it, because if they've gotten this far, they have the skills, and the Ender Dragon fight is fairly self-explanatory. You stab the dragon. Oh wait, the dragon is healing using these crystals. Destroy the crystals, stab the dragon again, and eventually it's dead. That's basically the fight. That does not take a genius to figure out. With that explained, now I just want to go through each of those steps and talk in-depthly about whether or not I think someone could do that. Okay, first step, gathering basic tools and supplies. Now, This is an obvious one. Our buddy Steve is an avid gamer. He's played tons of sandbox games. He knows what he's doing. Yeah, obviously they're gonna figure out how to make basic tools and stuff. Even if it's just like stone, maybe a bucket, he'll figure it out. That's what I'm trying to say. He'll figure it out. Number 2 is get to the nether. And I know I went through one fast, but the rest of these are gonna be much slower. Here's the thing. There are like 2 main ways to do this, like I said earlier. Finding a lava pool and building a speedrunner's portal, or finding a completable ruined portal. Or, you know, making a diamond pick, collecting obsidian, and, you know, the long way. And here's the thing. Before the nether update, I think the run would have ended here. Who would just randomly create a border of obsidian and light it on fire? Like, that just feels like such a random thing to do. But because of the nether update, you can go around seeing the squares of obsidian, even if they're not complete. Your brain's gonna slowly figure out, okay, I need this block, I need to put it in this formation. But then, once again, you kind of hit that barrier. Like, what do I do now? I have it in this formation. I assumed this would just be the gateway. What more needs to happen? Now, the one thing is, obviously, ruined portals are going to be surrounded by fire and lava, so you may connect it and be like, gotta set it on fire with this flint and steel, which creating a flint and steel by itself would be something I don't know if they do. But, you know, if they did, they'd just be like, okay, set it on fire, there we go, there's the portal. We're in the nether. Step 3 is finding the fortress. Here's the thing about finding the fortress. Even people looking for the fortress fail to find it a lot of times. Just because, well, you know, it's hidden. That's kind of the whole point. They're fairly rare now, which makes them harder to find. So I guess, of course, you'd find this new world and you'd be looking around in it, stumbling around, and I guess eventually you would find it. I don't know, it just feels like that would take a while, and eventually you'd think you were just chasing a lost cause. Because I feel like eventually you'd travel enough in the nether that you'd be like, I don't know, maybe there's nothing actually here. And like, it'd be even more disappointing if you like find a bastion first, because then you're like, well, is this the only structure here? Just bastions? Is that what this is? Just these places full of angry pigs? Because presumably you're not wearing gold armor, so they will be angry at you, and you don't figure out to chuck gold at them. So yeah, I'm not too sure about finding a fortress. But let's say our buddy Steve does. Let's keep going. Step 4 is getting ender pearls, which, as I said earlier, there are 3 ways to do: trading, bartering, and killing endermen. Let's be real. As I said earlier, bartering, not really in question here, because who's gonna think, yes, I throw gold at the pigs, they give me things. Like, I don't know, I guess you could look through the achievements, but that kind of violates my rules from earlier. No outside help, which I guess achievements are in the game, so you could make the argument, but we're not gonna get into that. Trading, I don't even know how trading works. I feel like that'd be a lot for a new player to try to figure out, especially since they don't know that they can use that to beat the game. And then lastly, killing endermen. Obviously they're gonna kill endermen. Eventually they're gonna figure out, ooh, I kill this, I get an eye. They may not connect that to beating the game because, again, an experienced player would know not everything is going to lead you directly to beating the game. But, I don't know, there's something like elusive about the Eyes of Ender. Oh, I'm messing with my pants string, which is why it hit me here. There's something like elusive about the Ender Pearls. I said Eyes of Ender, I meant Ender Pearls. Which just might, like, you know, create that connection in the player's mind. Like, ooh, this is important. Number 5 is combining the eyes and the blaze rods. Well, blaze powder. Number 1, chances of making blaze powder, I feel like are okay. Just because you're trying to figure out, like, what you can use these blaze rods for. You sit them in the crafting table, and eventually, you know, you get blaze powder. So would someone really stick blaze powder and ender pearls in a crafting table? I guess if I was getting desperate, like I knew I needed to beat this game and I'm like, what do I do? These two things together. I feel like by that point I just get frustrated. Like, how was I supposed to know that? Because that's the whole thing. It doesn't, the game doesn't tell you these things. That's the whole point of this video. Yeah, so I think it's an okay likelihood, but once again, another like bad roadblock there. Number 6, finding the stronghold. Fairly easy. If you've made it this far, you throw the eye, it goes off in a clear direction, and then if you throw another one, you'll see it goes off in the same direction. Doesn't take a genius to figure out to follow it. Then eventually it goes down, you're like, shoo, you dig straight down, you fall into it. So once you're in the stronghold, you have to find the portal room, which I feel like is like, you know, could be confusing, but eventually you'll find it. You're exploring the stronghold, eventually you'll stumble in it. It doesn't take a genius to connect the eyes to the stronghold, so, I mean the portal, because, you know, the holes, you just click on it, boom. So yeah, I think if you got the Eyes of Ender, you're gonna beat the game. Like, once you've thrown it, once you've thrown your first Eye of Ender, you're pretty much on the home stretch. But there's just so much leading up to that that just makes me think you couldn't beat the game. Step 2, Step 3, and Step 5 are the steps that I really feel like could just end it for some people. You know, either they get too frustrated or they think they're chasing a red herring and just give up even though they were going in the right direction. So yeah, I personally think there's too much like stuff, unless you got very lucky. Like if you found a completable ruined portal, completed it, went in, and like, there's the fortress, then probably your brain will be able to figure it out. But just like, there's a lot of exploration and RNG that goes into even a speed run that just some random person would just be confused. But to punctuate my point even more, I'm going to bring a Minecraft noob down here and discuss with her. You'll see. Let's get to the interview. Hi, Marissa.
Hi, Isaac.
Okay, so you may be wondering, Isaac, why have you brought me here today?
Yeah? Why?
Well, Marissa, I have a very simple question for you.
And what's the question?
If you were plopped in the middle of nowhere and told to kill a dragon, what would you do?
I would try to find somewhere and get a knife, find the dragon, and stab it with a knife. Okay,
but what process would you use to find that dragon? Where are we looking for a dragon?
In maybe mountains?
Interesting. And this knife, where are we getting this knife? You're in the middle of nowhere, the middle of the wild. What's our default to go find a weapon of some sort?
I don't know.
Well, can you think of any other type of weapon you would use? Like makeshift weapon you'd think of in the wild?
Stab it with wood?
Interesting, okay. Whilst failing to give definitive answers, Marissa does prove my point that a random person dropped into a scenario like that would not have any idea what to do. But, Charlie, what are you doing outside of your tank?
I am not bound to the confines of that glass cube.
What?
I heard you making one of your incredibly mundane YouTube videos, but only to discover you were ranting about such a meaningless subject.
Most of our videos are actually fairly meaningless.
Well, yes, but this one especially so. Of course someone would struggle to beat this game of mining and crafting with no prior knowledge. We need prior knowledge to accomplish almost everything in life.
That's not true. You don't need prior knowledge to, like, be alive.
Really? Let's test that little theory of yours, shall we?
Where am I? What am I supposed to be doing? Where am I supposed to go? What's happening? Huh? Why did running make me hungry? How do I fix hungry? How do I fix hungry? How did she do that? Oh, I'm so hungry. Huh? Maybe I just have to kill that to be less hungry.
You know, I haven't heard from Isaac in a few days. Wonder where he's been.
Foul beast! I've been doing research on this ancient tablet, and now I see the goal is to kill a dragon. Prepare to die!
Well, that was fun while it lasted.
Whoa. What day is it? The 8th? I gotta get this video out! Theo's gonna kill me!